Welcome back, everyone. Another day, another daily fail fantasy. Today, we're delving deeper into realm of tabloid journalism, a unique universe where the lines between truth and fantasy are often blurred. We are dissecting a headline that's been making quite a stir, causing whispers in the corners of the internet. It proclaims, with a daring certainty, Prince Harry wants to bring his children back to the UK and show them where he grew up, friends say. This headline has become a subject of discussion, a catalyst for speculation and conjecture. Let's pause for a moment and dissect the elements of this headline. An enticing piece of royal gossip, isn't it? It's a juicy morsel. A tantalizing tidbit seemed to be served straight from the royal household. But wait, who exactly are these self-proclaimed insiders, the so-called friends? The story conveniently cloaked in mystery, leaving us to wonder, leaving everything up to interpretation. No specifics, no identities, no real sense of accountability. Just a nebulous mention of friends, a perfect ingredient for a storm of doubt and speculation. This, my friends, is a classic maneuver in the playbook of tabloid journalism. By relying on unnamed friends as their source, these tabloids manage to spin tales that seem plausible, while skillfully dodging any responsibility for the veracity of their stories. It's an ingenious way to sell newspapers without having to validate their stories with hard, indisputable facts. But let's not be fooled. This represents nothing more than a thinly veiled attempt to bait readers with a juicy headline while offering no substantial evidence to back their claims. We can compare this tactic to a magician's trick where one hand distracts the audience while the other pulls a rabbit out of a hat. It's all about illusions and trickery, making the audience believe in something that isn't there. Another point that's worth highlighting is the headline's emphasis on what Prince Harry wants. But can anyone, especially an anonymous friend, assert to know the deepest desires of another person? It's a bold claim, one that teeters on the edge of presumption and fabrication. So let's halt for a moment and pose the question that's begging to be asked. Who exactly are these friends? No names are given, no tangible proof, just the usual sources that tabloids conjure up to sell their papers. It seems this headline, like countless others, is more about creating a buzz than reporting the truth. And my dear listeners, this perfectly encapsulates a typical tabloid headline. And that, dear listeners, is a prime example of a typical tabloid headline. Now here's the truth. Harry himself has already said, in his own words and in court, that he will not bring Meghan or their children to the UK because it's not safe. This assertion has reverberated globally, carrying the gravity of a father's worry and a husband's trepidation. Not a decision made on a whim, it reflects the harsh realities of Harry's earlier existence, a life teetering on the edge of constant public scrutiny, incessant media attention, and an unyielding paparazzi circus. The choice to withdraw, to shield his family, was driven by necessity rather than a matter of preference. In a world where his every action is scrutinized, dissected, and invariably critiqued, Harry has consistently placed his family's welfare at the forefront. Opting against returning his family to the UK wasn't an act of defiance, nor an insult to his motherland. It was a resolution born out of profound concern for his wife Meghan and their children, Archie and Lily. Delving into Harry's court statement, he stood poised before a judge under oath, voicing his apprehensions regarding his family's safety. He shared his fears about the inadequate protection extended to his family. He candidly discussed the threats levelled against him and his family. He sketched a life under relentless threat, a life where his children's safety was perpetually in peril. Faced with such a grave situation, Harry did what any worried father would do. He proposed to finance his own police protection. His aim was to safeguard his family, a right that everyone should be entitled to, but his request was rebuffed. The denial of his request sent a chilling message. His family's safety was not paramount. This refusal was more than a mere bureaucratic decision. It was a statement, an outright dismissal of Harry's legitimate fears and worries. It belittled the significance of his family's safety. In retaliation, Harry made his stance unequivocal. No security, no return. A straightforward yet profound proclamation. It transcends Harry's wish to safeguard his family. It brings to light a system that fell short of delivering the required protection. It highlights the disregard for personal safety over formalities. It portrays a father unwilling to compromise on his family's safety. So, when Harry's plans come up for discussion, let's not be swayed by sensationalized tabloid reports. Let's remember the harsh reality of the situation. The undeniable truth that Harry, Meghan, Archie and Lily are a family. A family that deserves to feel secure, to be shielded. A family that has made the tough call to consider their safety over their public persona. His request to pay for his own police protection was denied, and he made it clear. No security, no return. Let these words echo. Let them serve as a reminder of the truth behind Harry's plans. A truth that is a far cry from the fictional stories spread by the tabloids. A truth deeply rooted in the love of a family, the quest for safety, and a father's steadfast resolve to protect his own. So, this idea that Harry secretly longs to parade Archie and Lily around the UK, pure tabloid fiction. Let's take a moment to address this claim. They suggest Harry desires to bring his children to the UK to expose them to his roots. But this is just a tale spun to sell papers and gain attention. These stories are built a foundation of sensationalism, speculation, and complete invention. They are created to arouse emotions, spark curiosity, and feed our hunger for drama. The claim is based on the alleged statements of friends. But who are these friends? What are their words? Where is the tangible proof? As it turns out, there is none. It's all a carefully staged illusion, fabricated to create a thrilling narrative that ultimately yields profit. Harry has already clarified the matter himself. He has emphatically stated, both publicly and legally, that he does not plan to bring his children to the UK due to safety concerns. His request for private police protection was rebuffed. Why would he gamble his family's safety for a baseless claim? The answer is he wouldn't. Harry prioritizes his family's safety above all else. He has demonstrated repeatedly that he is prepared to make tough decisions to safeguard them. So, the next time a headline claims to know Harry's secret intentions, bear this in mind. It's not about the truth. It's about selling newspapers. It's not about informing, it's about captivating the audience. And it's definitely not about Harry, Meghan, Archie or Lily. It's about profit. They're desperate to spin a story, but the reality hasn't changed. Harry puts his family's safety first. When you see friends say in a headline, just translate it as, "We made this up." That seems like a bold statement, isn't it? Let's explore why such a claim could hold weight. In the realm of tabloid journalism, friends say is a common phrase. It appears innocent, subtly inserted into headlines and articles to provide a sense of authenticity to the report. It's a tactic that sparks curiosity and pulls readers into the narrative. After all, insider information is always intriguing, isn't it? However, here's the catch. Friends say is usually a subtle way of stating we lack concrete evidence. It's a term that leaves the identity of these friends ambiguous. Are they confidants, merely acquaintances, possibly figments of a journalist's imagination? The phrase is a crafty means to avoid the necessity for verifiable sources. In other words, it's a decoy, a trick used to present unfounded rumours as credible news. It's a device that morphs speculation into an authoritative claim. Real journalism is rooted in facts, not in vague phrases or unnamed friends. So when you encounter a headline with "friends say," be skeptical. Ask yourself, who are these friends? What's their source of information? And most importantly, where's the evidence? It's not about dismissing every "friends say" article as untrue, but about fostering a critical approach that questions and seeks the truth. Therefore, when you see "friends say" in a headline, just translate it as "we made this up."